Welcome back, everybody. This is the first part of a series of videos of long and synthetic division. But in this video tutorial, I'm going to do some examples of long division of polynomials, and I'm going to briefly talk about what they are. Now, this technique works just like the long division that we're mostly familiar with back in middle school or elementary school, except this time there are variables that are involved. Now, in front of us, we have the division algorithm, and it states that if f of x and d of x are polynomials such that d of x is not equal to 0, and the degree of d of x is less than or equal to the degree of f of x, then there exist unique polynomials q of x and r of x such that f of x is equal to d of x times q of x plus r of x, where f of x is the dividend, d of x is a divisor, q of x is a quotient, and then r of x is the remainder. Sometimes when you divide polynomials, you're left with the remainder, and this is what it stands for. Now I'm going to go ahead and do some examples, and I'm going to explain it along the way. In our first example, we have x squared minus 9x minus 10. Now, the way you do this is that you take the first term of the dividend. By the way, this is the dividend. This is what you're using first, and then you're dividing it by the divisor, and then whatever you end up with here is a quotient, and then sometimes you're left with the remainder, and that's what r of x stands for. So as I said before, you're going to take the first term of the dividend, and then you're going to divide it by the first term of the divisor. So x squared divided by x is going to give you x, and where you want to put it is right above the term where it's similar to the term in the dividend. So x squared divided by x is going to give you x. So you want to put x right here. And then you're going to take what you got in the quotient and then multiply it by the divisor. So x times x is going to give you x squared. And then you're going to go ahead and place it right underneath the term x squared in the dividend. And then x times 1, that's just going to give you x. So that's plus x right here. So you're gonna subtract x. You're gonna subtract x squared plus x from x squared minus 9x. So you're gonna add the symbol here, and then what you're gonna do is distribute the negative sign over x squared and a positive x. So x squared minus x squared, that's just going to give you 0. So you don't have to write that. Then you have negative 9x minus negative positive x. So negative distributed over positive x is going to give you negative x. So minus 9x minus x is going to give you minus 10x. And then what you're going to do is you're going to carry the next term. In this case, this is the last term. You're going to carry down the last term, which is negative 10, and you're just going to bring it down here. Then you're going to do the same exact thing. You're going to take whatever you have here, divide it by the divisor, and then put whatever you end up with in the quotient. So negative 10x divided by x is going to give you negative 10. So minus 10. And then you're going to take this term and multiply it by the divisor, and then put whatever you end up with right here. So negative 10 times x is going to give you negative 10 x, and then negative 10 times 1 is going to give you negative 10. And then don't forget to subtract. So negative 10x minus 10x, so negative 10x plus 10x, that's just going to give you 0, so you don't have to write that. And then negative 10 plus 10 is also going to give you 0. So you're left with no remainder, and then eventually your answer is going to be this quotient right here, whatever you end up with in the quotient, which is x minus 10. So it sounds easy. Let's go ahead with the next example. We have x squared plus 3x plus 5 divided by x plus 1. So again, you're going to take the first term of the dividend and then divide it by the first term of the divisor. So x squared divided by x is going to give you x. So you're going to place it right here above 3x. And then you're going to take whatever you end up with in the quotient and then multiply it by the divisor. So x times x is going to give you x squared. And then x times 1 is also going to give you x. So positive x. Then you're going to subtract x squared minus x squared. That's just going to give you 0. You don't have to write that. And then 3x minus x is going to give you 2x. And then you're going to carry down the next term. This is the last term. That's plus 5. And then you're going to take the first term divided by the first term of the divisor. So you're just doing this again. 2x divided by x is going to give you positive 2. And then 2 times x is going to give you 2x. And then 2 times 1 is going to give you 2. And then don't forget to subtract that. We have 2x minus 2x, that's just 0, so I'm not going to write that. And then 5 minus 2 is going to give you 3. So the remainder here is 3, or this is what r of x is. And if you remember what I said earlier in the video, in the division algorithm, the way to write it is f of x is equal to d of x times q of x plus r of x. So if you were to write this in a division algorithm, you're going to end up with, I'm just going to leave it here so that we can see it. Right here is good. So we have f of x, which is the dividend, which is x squared plus 3x plus 5. Of course, you don't have to do that, but if you were asked to do it, at least you'll know what to do and what this algorithm is talking about. Plus 5 is equal to the d of x, which is the divisor, and it's x plus 1. So x plus 1. Then you have q of x, which is a quotient, which is what you ended up with here on top of the division symbol. X plus 2 plus r of x, the remainder, which is what we ended up here, which is 3. So the way to write it is like that. Moving on to our last example, we have a higher degree polynomial. We have, let me move the camera just a little bit right here. We have 6x cubed minus 19x squared plus 16x minus 4 divided by x minus 2. Now don't panic if you have a higher degree. The same process applies. We have 6x cubed, the first term of the dividend, divided by the first term of the divisor. 6x cubed divided by x is going to give us 6x squared. So we'll just go ahead and place that over negative 19x squared. And then we're going to take this term and multiply it by the divisor. So 6x squared times x is going to give you 6x cubed. And then 6x squared times negative 2 is going to give us negative 12x squared. And then don't forget to subtract it. 6x cubed minus 6x cubed, that's just 0, so I'm not going to write that. Negative 19x squared minus 12x squared, so negative 19x plus 12x squared. That's going to give us negative 7x squared. And then we're going to bring down the next term, which is positive 16x. Then we're going to do the same thing. Take the first term divided by the first term of the divisor. Negative 7x squared divided by x is going to give us negative 7x. And then negative 7x times the divisor. Negative 7x times 7x, that's going to give us negative 7x squared. And then negative 7x times negative 2 is going to give us positive 14x. Subtracting those terms, negative 7x squared minus 7x squared, so negative 7x squared plus 7x squared, that's just 0. And then 16x minus 14x is going to give us 2x. So I'm going to go ahead and write 2x here. And then we're going to carry down the last term all the way down, which is negative 4. And then we're going to do the same exact thing all over again. 2x divided by x is going to give us positive 2. I'm going to go ahead and write that. 2 times x is going to give us 2x. And then 2 times negative 2 is going to give us negative 4. Subtracting both terms, 2x minus 2x is 0. Negative 4 minus 4 is negative 4 plus 4, and that's 0 again. So it's fairly easy and kind of fun. A lot of the kids that I tutored liked this lesson a lot just because of the simplicity and just how it's very similar to just regular division that they were taught in back in elementary school. But you see the idea here, and I'm going to make sure to do more examples within the next video, and I'm going to cover synthetic division as well. So thanks for watching. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and go ahead and like this video. This is going to help the channel grow more. If you have any questions or concerns, please leave a comment in the comment section below, and we'll see you in the next video.